The decision by the Nobel Foundation to reverse the decision to invite Russia and Belarus to this year's ceremonies in Stockholm is an interesting one. We think, yes, Russia and Belarus are busy indulging in an attack on Ukraine. They invaded, or at least Russia invaded, and Lukashenko, Putin's poodle, supports the invasion and dithers around the border about whether or not he's going to join in. But, there's no doubt that he's involved. And the whole point about the Nobel Prize is that it itself was a form of whitewashing. Nobel made his money out of dynamite with 90 odd factories, and it was only when he put in an advert, I think, for a sort of Lonely Hearts advert in 1876 that he wanted that he met a person called Bertha von Sutter, who was a pacifist, and she changed the direction of his life, and by setting up this prize, by using his money, a very wealthy, highly educated elderly gentleman living in Paris seeks a lady familiar with languages, also of mature years, as secretary and overseer of his household. Well, it became the great inspiration of his life, and it changed the direction of history, I suppose. With the money that he'd made out of blowing things up, he was able to start building stuff. Where are you going? Okay. And it took about 20 years. And Nobel was already tormented by the experience of making something so destructive and so horrific. We can think again also of people like Oppenheimer. But how do you take responsibility for what you've done? And academic research, academic support, something not dissimilar to the approach of the Gladstone family to slavery. That is one well proven and well documented and well tested approach towards rehabilitation on the world stage. But then being rather grand about your attitude to countries that are engaged in nastiness, however horrible they are, there's a big question about whether or not this is the right, quote, victory for humanism. In the same way, the Olympic Games. The old Olympic Games was about a truce during battle, a truce during war. The modern Olympic Games is about vying for attention on the world stage and the media. We have a problem because we can't translate the ideals of the past into the murky reality of the present. But for what it's worth, I think it's quite right that Russia and Belarus are not invited to the Nobel Peace Prize giving. They would be inappropriate ghosts at the feast.